Welcome back, everybody, to some more Carthage League of Legends. Here with my constant host, Tony. Tony, I would ask how it's going, but we're going to get right into draft here.
Oh, I know. No time.
This is crazy. So right away, got the Sejuani first pick. This has been the staple of Carthage Red all season. And usually in the jungle, usually give it to Allspice here, and he's done fantastic on it. He's really set up his lanes well. Otherwise, we've got a Udyr Karma 1-2 here
that.
from Kettering. So looking to have a little bit of a poke lane in the bot lane, most likely, although they could flex this Karma pretty much anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very interesting to see. Oh, and it looks like Aatrox, as usual, is picked for not locked in just yet, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm assuming they're going to pick it up. Yeah. Still very strong. Obviously, that was the flavor of the worlds of the championship, I guess. They picked a lot at worlds. And still very good. This Aatrox is a great pick. Kaisa also picked up here for the bot lane, so that's somebody who they believe in. They believe is going to be very strong. And now Jhin also going to be locked in as the counter pick. Now, I am personally not a big Jhin fan.
Oh, really?
Does not do a lot of damage. And by I mean DPS. So you see Jhin, you see like big number, like, oh my god, fourth shot did like 1,000 damage or whatever. But right as you compare that to DPS, like damage per second, how much damage the champion's actually outputting, it's considerably less than a lot of these other carries like Kaisa. I mean, I was going to say like Kog'Maw, Vayne, but those are classically extremely high damage champions. But even like a Xayah, it's doing considerably less damage. So
most definitely, and only having 4 shots before you get to reload it, it's a lot of time taken away. And you do have a lot of mobility on that champion, because I believe it's every crit that you get a little boost of movement speed.
Correct, yeah.
And then the W as well to get away. But you can just get completely jumped on and not a lot of stuff to do. It doesn't, like what you said, it doesn't have enough damage output, I'd say.
For the most part. Now, like, there are lanes where you want to pick it. It's definitely a utility ADC where you use that W, the root, to lock down targets, set up your jungler, in this case, probably Udyr. But if you're picking it as a carry lane, you're not usually picking Jhin. Otherwise, we're going to see Sylas and Amumu here banned for Kettering. Sylas, somebody we've seen a ton from the mid laner Blitzkrieg. Otherwise, Amumu, that's kind of a new one. I think that one is sort of proliferate in the bot lane. Just another support ban. They don't want this Kaisa Amumu. Makes a lot of sense. Amumu, very few champions that like truly do well against him. But I think that Karma is actually, this Karma Jhin lane would do well against it just by how much poke they're putting out. It'd be very difficult for the Amumu to find it all in. And now we see Olaf for the top lane into this Aatrox.
That's interesting. I think this is the first time we've seen Olaf this season, so I'm very excited about that. And most interesting is that the bans, they seem so. 3 of them are on our mid lane, or sorry, two. Yep. Sorry, I was looking at Ezreal. I'm like, where do you go again? But no, just trying to get out Blitzkrieg's strongest champions. Yep. So that's very interesting to me. And a Rel.
So that makes sense. Rel, I feel like the issue with Rel is that it does a lot of the same things that a lot of other engaged supports do. Some would say worse. I think that situationally, Rel can be very good, but this is not a situation in which I would typically pick it. I do like seeing Kaisa with engaged champions, because obviously she can use her ultimate to jump to these champions, but you could see a Leona in that role and perform out equally as effective.
For sure.
And now, seeing this Akali into the Swain, Akali, obviously the blind pick. Very interesting they choose the Swain as the counter pick here.
Yeah, I starting out like every time I play Swain in the mid lane, I just don't see it does too much damage, and I think Akali's just going to be running around having some fun. But that's just how I think of it. What about you?
I think that it's going to be a similar thing to all Akali matchups. I think that Swain is going to have a slight edge.
Oh, really?
Pre-level 6, but right as you hit level 6, I think Akali is just able to one-shot. I mean, she has the ability to do that against essentially every champion in the mid lane. She's always going to be a threat, especially during roams. This is something we've talked about pretty much every time Akali is picked. Like, sure, you can delay the Akali up to level 6, but what really matters is once you hit level 6, the sort of impact that you have on the top and the bottom lane, what you're able to do with the roams of this champion.
For sure, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. So overall, who do you think won draft?
I think that Kettering actually has a very low damage draft. Just looking at Swain, Jhin, Olaf. I mean, obviously Olaf is going to be able to output a lot of damage, but he's going to be sitting in a side lane for the most part. Going to be trying to get these towers, I think. Swain is not a champion that traditionally is going to have super high damage. It has a ton of sustain, so if you don't play around the Swain well enough, it can output a lot of damage. But Akali is something that's just, especially if you're good on it, it's something that's much more consistent. As long as you find a flank, you're going to be useful. You're going to be able to blow up these backline champions in the Jhin and the Karma, and potentially even the Swain if you're ahead enough.
Yeah.
But as far as the entire game in the bot lane, I think that I would probably have Carthage ahead. I think that Kettering is better in lane. I think that this Jhin Karma is going to be very strong in lane. But once you get past that mid-game point, this the Kai'Sa Rel lane is just going to be much, much more useful in team fights. Karma gets outscaled by most champions, even these engaged supports. Usually enchanters scale very well, but I think that Rel will just be more useful in these team fights. And obviously Kai'Sa outscales both of them, just to an absolutely monstrous amount of damage. In the mid lane, I like Akali more, honestly. I think that's going to be tough for her to find kills in that early to mid game, even on the Swain. And I think that Swain could potentially set up some ganks for the jungler. But I like Akali more, especially when one of your damage threats is Jhin, is this squishy champion. If you're able to pick him off, you have a lot of ways to go about team fighting. If you look at the jungle, I think I'm not a huge fan of Udyr in competitive play. Typically, I think it's a great solo queue champion. I think you can absolutely run over games on it. It scales fantastically. It doesn't die. But as far as what kind of role it plays in this draft, it's kind of like you're running around trying to find picks. You're playing with your Jhin and you're playing with your Swain and you're trying to find CC to set up the Udyr and then find something from there. As far as in an actual team fight, the way that Carthage is going to be team fighting is much more cohesive. Especially, once again, we see the Aatrox. This is an absolutely monstrous champion in team fights, healing so much, doing a ton of damage.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to give the better draft to Carthage. I just think that their team fighting is much easier to play out, and I think that they have a lot more setup.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like we have a poll that who has a better draft game one. It looks like we got one vote.
Yeah, right. Kettering. I mean, I can see the advantages. I may think that Carthage has a better draft, but I can see advantages of Kettering's draft. I think that Olaf beats Aatrox in lane, outside of some fantastic play from Raymond the Goat here. And I do think that this Karma Jhin, obviously, if it gets ahead, it could be a problem.
Yeah.
But it's not a lane that typically will, especially with how much attention I feel like Carthage should be putting on this bot lane.
For sure.
This should be a pushing lane, so this Jhin and this Karma should be kind of exposed, as even if this Udyr is playing around them well enough. So I think that's something that they could that could be an advantage for them if the Udyr plays around the bot lane. I feel like Kettering could win through the bot side with these dragons. And they have a ton of pick potential. So it's a solid draft. I just think that Carthage's draft is easier to play in these team fights, which is really what has been their bread and butter this whole season. For
sure. I mean, simplicity over anything else is just it's just an easier way to get kills. And we also have some things that there's a little bit more complexity to some of the champs, but you know, I just think an easier execution is better than nothing. But I'm really excited to see it. So for how this is going to play out, do you think that the Firebirds will be playing a little bit more aggressively starting out, or just finding the time playing a little bit more passively till we get to the mid game?
I think that Sejuani is going to be wanting to play aggressively, play for these ganks, try to get some lanes ahead. But as far as the lanes themselves, it's really just about punishing mistakes. I don't think that the Aatrox is going to naturally have an advantage against the Olaf in lane to the point where he's like bullying. I think it's going to be the Olaf actually doing that, just running at this Aatrox and trying to get a solo kill at some point. So I think that Carthage's job is just going to be waiting until they hit this mid-game power spike where the Kai'Sa has a couple items, where you have Akali level 11, levels like this 2-level ultimate power spike, where the execute does so much more damage. Just playing for that mid-game is going to be what Carthage wants to do, whereas Kettering is really going to be wanting to put pressure on early and find a lot of early kills.
For sure, yeah. I'm so excited to see it. Oh, you good?
Fantastic. Gonna be going straight into the spectator delay. My goodness. I'll see you for this game.
The high Wheaton shoves that right over to the Lions half. Looks like this one's going in. Oh, you're kidding me. Don't over behind. We're gonna see the barrage. The barrage.
Oh my gosh, Nico is just dominating right now.
What a play!
That's disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
That was disgusting.
Welcome back, everybody. After a short little break, extended by a slight technical issue in the form of a player disconnection, ready for some League of Legends here. We'll pause, but that's okay. Gives us more time to talk. How are you feeling about these two teams, Tony?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm a little bit, as always, I'm always very nervous, especially in bot lane. What's that noise?
I'm assuming they're pings.
No, but the other one, the bong, bong.
A ping. It's one of the new pings that they've implemented. I don't know which one, but it's one of them.
I don't like that one.
It is a little rough. I agree.
That one's kind of weird.
Going 5 bot here. I'm assuming they're expecting an invade, but so are Firebirds as they're stacked up in this brush here. Unfortunately, not much going to happen though, because they're just going to sit here.
Just enjoying the scenery, you know?
Yeah. And why not? Right?
For sure, you know, you gotta have a little bit of a vacation, you know, have a few laughs, have a few jokes.
Absolutely. Importantly, though, it looks like Jungle going to be starting in the bot lane, trying to get Raymond to go to head. We did talk about this matchup being a little difficult, so maybe Osby is thinking, let's just help out this Aatrox, because we know Aatrox is pretty dumb. You can agree with that, right? Aatrox,
no, he's
strong.
super smart.
Well, that's not what do not.
He has wings.
That doesn't mean he's smart.
Anyone with wings has to be more intelligent than at least I.
Fair enough. All right, going for a full clear here. That has been the tradition. So in preseason so far, everybody just full clears. It's just fastest. That's the most efficient way to do things. So I'm not surprised that that's how they've been doing it. He was just checking to see that there's nobody in the bush, I'm sure. Either that or he wanted to get to Q2 to clear the wave. So pretty normal stuff though. Pretty uneventful. No crazy strategies. Just people running at each other so far. Got the poke coming out from the Karma on the bot lane. We're going to see a lot of that this game. And we're going to see junglers clearing up to the top lane. And we're going to see Udyr reach first because Udyr clears much faster than Sejuani. So I'm interested to see what he does with that time, though. What Black Iris chooses to do. Interestingly, it chooses the Hail of Blades approach here. That's a somewhat uncommon choice as far as tech, as far as what runes people go on the champion. But now, a little bit of trading here. Raymond the Goat actually finding a bit of an advantage here in the top lane. So impresses from him, able to find that health advantage.
And a little bit of poke in the bot lane as well as...
Let's find level 3. That's going to be a pretty big break point as far as in the lane. You could probably deny a little bit of CS here. And get some damage off on this Olaf to make this gank a little bit harder that the Udyr is almost certain to make. Is now going in. The Infernal Chains do go down and can be pushing him back. He does have a damage advantage, but now you see this is why Olaf is strong in the top lane. You have the additional Omnivamp below you are, and also that shield, the amount of health that shield gives actually goes up as well. So yes, very tough to deal with in those early levels, so you have to be very careful because Aatrox, once again, does not really have the advantage in the early laning phase, but now Raymond the Goat can be running in. He's going to get the Infernal Chains down.
Oh, wow.
Q3, he's got some damage. The Hailblades will come down. A ton of damage on Raymond the Goat.
Whoa.
Gets a second. They might actually be able to find 3 here. That is disastrous for the top lane of the Firebirds.
Oh, dear. I have no words. That was quick.
It was. I mean, 2 kills, 2 deaths here already in the game. I was talking about there not being a lot of action, but after that teleport play, Darkfire Shadow is firmly in the lead in the top lane, and this laning phase will be extremely difficult from here on out.
Most definitely, yeah. So Raymond the Ghost has to play a little bit passively up there. How did that Olaf get so much attack speed? I don't know too much about.
So his passive actually is the lower that his health is, the higher his attack speed gets.
Oh wow!
So he gets passive attack speed the lower his health is. So that's once again another reason why he's such a bully in the early game, especially into Aatrox, who really relies on spacing. Champion who gains 1 million movement speed and attacks faster than you is going to be extremely difficult to deal with.
Yeah, most definitely. Just trying to get that or hitting that sweet spot too might be a little bit more difficult.
There we see short little trades. That's kind of what you need to do. Just trade, keep the trades nice and short, and make sure that you aren't taking extended trades, because that's when you will really lose. As we saw before, right as Raymond the Goat tried to all in the Olaf, he just kind of popped this W, got that shield, and killed him. So you have to be really careful with how you trade around this top lane.
It looks like Udyr is just chilling over by the dragon, getting rid of the control ward. Is
Ooh, good play there. Gonna find some
Nice.
good damage. And like I said, like it is a winnable lane. It just here we go now. No, the chase down is going
dear.
to occur. You're gonna see a ton of damage.
Oh, dear.
He might actually go for the kill here. He might have it.
Wow.
A third kill here in the top lane. Wow.
And a dragon is slayed as well. Jeez, and that gold lead at it looks like Kettering's at 9.2 while Firebirds are at 7.8.
Yeah, it absolutely is starting to balloon a bit here. I mean, it's very difficult when you have a 3-0 top laner in 5 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just in team fights, that Olaf is going to be a little bit crazy.
Now you're going to see Allspice might be looking for a mid gank here. That's where I would try to look. Now that you have this top side that is so far behind, you need to start looking mid so that the mid laner can roam bot and really put this Kai'Sa ahead, because that's really your only win condition. They're definitely going to find a kill here, though. With this Akali combo, there it is. Ooh, Allspice taking the kill is a little rough, but getting the kill in general is the important part.
Yeah, most definitely. It puts first one for the Firebirds. That's about 6 minutes. Now we can have a little bit of tankier Sejuani.
Indeed. I mean, once the Dwayne hits 6, too, that's going to be another gank opportunity. So very exciting there. Good kill.
And Olaf chilling out in the mid lane as well. And here comes the TP from Blitzkrieg.
Yep, just going to be picking up that wave. Smart play. Keeping that CS even in the mid lane.
Just doing a little bit more farming down there. Proliferate's going to find that control ward. Just take it right out. Get some gold.
Yep, nice little safe play here from the bot lane of Kettering. I mean, you don't really need to do much. I doubt they're going to be able to find a lot of solo kills, barring some really good play out of the Karma. So just nice safe lane, try to keep the farm even in the bot lane.
For sure. Oh, and it looks like, they may or may not go for it, but pings are going through. Looks like they're going to be backing off.
Good vision there from Kettering. Good understanding of knowing, my goodness, where the bot lane might be. I am just dying over here.
I'll get you some cough drops right after
All
this.
right, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Oh my goodness. Good trading
Oh
here.
dear.
But as we know, Akali just got thrown on that shroud, make things extra difficult on Swain.
And Raymond the Goat using that W really nicely, pulling the Olaf back. Very
Ooh,
safe.
this could be a really good counter
here
gank
comes
here.
the gank.
Flashing away is the bot lane of Kettering, but now they're going to be running. You're going to see the root come down
Oh,
here
dear.
from the Jhin, and that is the utility that we talked about. So much damage is going to come through at Allspice, but he's just too tanky.
Yeah, tough to beat up a Sejuani. Ooh.
Especially when this Heartsteel item is a thing. There's so
Oh,
much
yeah.
health, and with the base resistances, the passive resistances that the Sejuani has, this makes her a very good tank option for your team.
Oh, most definitely. And almost like everyone is using that item right now. And
Actually, a lot of people have kind of gone to Jack Show instead. There's been a big
really?
shift away from Heartsteel, yes, since the season has started. So we're seeing a lot more, a lot more diversity in the tank items.
yeah, I'm really liking that, but I'm just waiting for those nerfs to come in.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the next patch is Ravenous Hydra nerfs and then Sunfire buffs, actually. So they're looking to make that legendary item, newly legendary item, a little bit better.
Yeah, what is the Ravenous nurse? Because I saw a video on it, but they're just like, we don't know yet.
I think they're changing the stacks, because now, since Ravenous stacks on minion kill and champion kill, they're making sure that the extra stacks don't give additional Omnivamp, so less healing from the item, basically.
Okay.
With that being said, I still think the item is going to be extremely good. I mean, it just has a very good stat line with the CDR and the physical damage that it gives. It still will be a strong item, but it's a good thing to target. Like, the healing was certainly out of hand with that item.
Oh, most definitely. I was talking to someone the other day. It's just like there's one champ that is just absolutely ridiculous on. It's gonna come to me. It's probably in 10 minutes, and
Riven, Fiora, Graves. Those are the main users right now. Come up, at least.
I think it's Riven, but
My goodness, I apologize for these coughing fits. I do not know what's going on.
No, it sounds good.
Sounds good, right?
Sounds good.
Rift Herald gonna be taken here in the top lane. Not much that the Firebirds can do, really.
Oh.
No, they did leave Arthur alone. Just gonna be eating away, running. And I'm assuming that Rift should go top lane, especially with how accelerated this Olaf is. They should just be continuing to push him farther and farther ahead.
Yeah, most definitely get him even more stronger and for later on the
The ultimate does miss. The flash stun will hit though. I'm not sure they'll have the damage. The exhaust goes through. Arthur Pod will be rooted somehow. Now Daggy trying to get the kill, not finding anything and flashing away. The ultimate from Jhin is now coming through, although they're gonna be looking for the dive in the bot lane. They're probably gonna find it. They just have too much lockdown.
There we go.
Given over to the Akali, definitely the smart play. Very unfortunate that they end up trading back. Proliferate being killed by the Karma here. Ultimate now pop for the Swain though. This is a very difficult spot to be in. Flash stun, so much damage from that Udyr. Now going looking for another. It looks like
no.
The Sejuani's in trouble, and that's gonna be 3 there for Kettering. Very good counterplay. Just knew that dive was not a tenable play, and immediately taking swift action, roaming down and picking up those 3 kills.
Most definitely, yeah. This is getting a little bit scary with now about 3.3k gold lead, and Firebirds are going 2-7 so far as we had almost 12 minutes in the match.
Yep, as well as all objectives have went to Kettering so far. Even an advantage in that department. Ooh,
for sure.
Really
oh dear.
He can dash over the wall. Yep, there it is. So he will be fine.
Did the little slide.
Yep, something interesting to talk about. You see about like a 50, it's a very like a 50-50 split probably, I would say. Almost going for the, still might go for the all-in here. Blitzkrieg does not have perfect execution the ultimate though, so won't be able to find a kill ultimately, but good play, good poke to push the Swain away.
I do like the I am not trying emote that they put in.
Yes, that is a good one right there. As now, just
Here's
looking to clear it, just trying to get rid of this Rift Herald, although Darkfire Shadow is going to be walking away and taking the final play at top lane. He has so much gold right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Looks like just sticking around a little bit.
Ooh.
And
Blitzkrieg's got to be careful here. They may have numbers, but I'm not sure that'll matter with how fed this Olaf is. First mythic item in the game, or one of the first, I should say. Just so much gold on this champion right now.
Yeah, most definitely. This Firebirds need to find out.
Ooh, good pick there. Finding Black Iris. He does not have a lot of health because he is going the lethality build, so he might actually go down here. Perfect execution.
There we go.
And that's going to be a kill. The root does go down on Blitzkrieg, and the ult is pop from I am not trying. But still, advantage going to go to the Firebirds on that play.
Yeah, just getting one out of the way and.
They might have the power here, though. It's just a lot of damage here from the Olaf. They might actually be able to get it, as it looks like he will. So the rotation will certainly take care of him, though, unfortunately. He might find a trade. But they'll have enough people ult. Oh, he's auto-canceled a ton because of the Akali in this Shroud. He does dodge away from it. He's actually able to run away from this here.
Oh, that's a bummer. Hopefully they can shut them out.
Wow, the Olaf is actually able to walk away from that now. Proliferate and Arthur, though, doing a good job on that bot side. Just shove waves in, try to get a slight CS advantage.
For sure, a little bit of a bummer that Olaf, that would have been a really nice bounty at 400 gold, but that is all right.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you do see a couple of kills here onto Blitzkrieg. That will be very big. I mean, not a lot of magic resist on anybody so far. Or he might actually be able to find the kill here because he's lethality, but no, just able to get away. Allspice does have to burn flash, but will get away. That's the big one.
For sure, a little bit of a trouble in the bush. Ooh.
You have to be careful here. The jungler is in the area, and though Allspice is also here, he is really too low to make any sort of impact on this play. So now I would assume they're just going to be looking forward towards this 2 minutes mark where the third dragon will pop up. That will be what they're looking for. If you're able to force a fight, if you're able to get soul point, that would be a massive, massive advantage here for Kettering. More than they already have. Because, I mean, as we talked about before, over a 5,000 gold lead. I mean, that is pretty big.
Yeah, for sure. And not even being 15 minutes in yet, this is getting pretty scary. Firebirds need to find a really good team fight to push their disadvantage down a little bit.
They certainly do, but that is something we talked about as being an advantage of the Firebirds team comp, is they are able to team fight better than Kettering is. So if they are able to use their engage well, take out the priority targets, they could absolutely find a win in these team fights.
For sure. I'm a little bit afraid though on this next one because we've been seeing the great warding so far by Kettering, and just having that advantage of getting there early, I'm a little bit afraid of that, but
Absolutely. The only real thing is it. Engage now. Will Arthropod have the damage? The exhaust is down onto him right now, but the heal and flash from Rybat, it makes him able to get away. 3 summoner spells exhausted just from that flash ignite by Proliferate. That was a fantastic play by him.
yeah, most definitely. Was that a full flash, or did they use a hex flash into?
That was a full flash.
Okay.
So did have to go forward that way. It was just a split-second decision.
I was just looking at the bottom, and just like, did they? Because I saw the ping of hex flash, and I was like, wait, I don't think that was.
Yeah. So, despite the fact that he does have to use a flash, very big play though. Like I said before, they're gonna be able to push that wave and keep that CS advantage, although they're even. But they do get those 3 summoner spells, which is massive. We got a chat though, asking who's in the advantage. So if you look at the gold, Kettering, the red team, is definitely ahead right now, having about almost 6,000 more gold. That is a lot of items, which means a lot more damage and stats here for their team. But now they might be able to find a team fight. Does get the engage, but it is on the Swain, who just, it looks like he's healing too much. Just Zonia's this down. A lot of damage now onto Osprey. Darkfire Shadow takes down 1. This Olaf is running the game over. 2 flashes, 3, I believe. No, just 2 flashes here. From both sides, but it looked like that team fight might have been the Firebirds, but it just looks like the Kettering just kind of hit them with their wallets there.
For sure, and just great tanking and great positioning, I'd say, as well. Jin being all the way in river and just using their R from there. That was a bummer it didn't go Firebirds.
It really
way.
was. Finding the root might actually be the kill. They have a ton of burst damage. Beast now taking him down. Blitzkrieg is not in a good spot. He might be able to outplay this one. Onto the Jin. Well played, Blitzkrieg. But still, need to do more than that if they are going to retake the lead here in this game.
For sure, they're almost at a 10k gold deficit and going 4-11 so far, and that's the 3rd dragon going over to Kettering. This
it's not looking great. It's not looking great so far.
Yeah.
But with that being said, do have that crisis scaling. No. You have that crisis scaling, so they will be able to fall back on that once you get in the later stages of the game, once she gets a couple more items.
Most definitely, yeah. And Akali, we've seen a bunch of damage being done by her so far, so hopefully that will continue.
Absolutely. I mean, does find that Riftmaker now. Going Ravenous Hydra, I believe. Next item, if I had to guess.
Fun.
So we're going to see a mixed damage Akali build here with a ton of healing. So this could actually be a team fight carry champion now, because usually you just kind of have your burst combo, you're running around trying to kill squishies, but with this build you might be able to do some serious damage and have the sustain to really take control of a team fight.
Yeah, most definitely. Well said, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that, man.
It's like for everything you say, and I'm like,
oh, stop.
It is awesome, dude.
Okay, this is actually a really big find here. Raven's gonna take some damage here, but they might actually have the burst to kill this Swain. Teleport is coming through, though. They have to be really careful of this. Flashing away does not find the root. Darkfire Shadow is massive, though. He will find the ghost running forward now. You gotta be just running under tower. He is too fed for this.
Wow.
Still running forward. I think he's over committed here. Might be able to just give this kill over to Arthropod. This is a massive shutdown here for the Firebirds. Unfortunately, did go over to the support though.
Oh jeez, that's gonna be a tankier rel. So
I mean, hey,
I am happy about that.
You do wish that the carry got the kill though. It is kind of unfortunate we weren't able to find that.
Nah, I like to see a cooler horse. Look at that. What a skin, too.
Always on the cosmetics, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Pushing in this top and mid lane, though. I mean, the macro play here has been fantastic.
Most definitely.
So far. Really pushing this early game advantage. Like we talked about in draft, if they find this early game lead, it's going to be difficult to handle just because of how the nature of their composition. They're really good at finding picks. And once you fall behind, these champions will just fold you, like this Olaf.
Most definitely, yeah. And with that, it looks almost to that 10k deficit. So I really don't know what the Firebirds need to do here. They need to find a big team fight, that's for one thing, but
they need to
how to execute it right.
Is what needs to happen. If they lose Dragon Soul, that will only make things more rough. I mean, getting those extra stats and that bonus this early in the game. I mean, we're looking at about 22 minutes on the Soul if they're able to get it, and that would be almost insurmountable. They would need to find some miracle team fight if that was if they did end up finding that Dragon Soul.
Yeah, for sure. And oh wow,
he has just too much damage. I mean, CC immune now. He's running forward. They do have all 5 in the bot lane. He doesn't have any shutdown anymore, but it still would be an extremely valuable kill to get. Frame the Ghost to get a ton of damage, but Osprey's picking up the kill. The tanks of the Firebirds are doing some work. I am not trying. Maybe he should, as he's kind of caught out in the middle of all 5 members of the Firebirds, healing a ton because he's swaying, so he might trade. Ooh.
Oh, that's not
in a
good.
good spot. He's dashing forward trying to get the kill, but
come on.
So much healing from this Swain. My goodness, he's still alive. Will he trade? He's still healing. 1v5? What is this? He might find 2.
Oh no.
He has too much from the Swain. 1v5.
Oh
my goodness. That was a disaster.
Almost, what do you say, 25 seconds worth of healing, and all 5 members of the Firebirds could not kill a Swain.
Oh my goodness,
oh dear.
That was a backbreaker. They take the Baron. They're going to likely be able to pick up the Dragon Soul now. What a play. I was joking about I am not trying, should try, but
that was an amazing play.
I've never seen a champion 1v5 like that. I mean, Swain would be the one to do it with all that healing, but my goodness, that was ridiculous.
For sure. And with that, we are at a 13k deficit and definitely a damage drop.
Indeed.
We got to do more damage.
We do. That is true. We do have to do more damage.
At least we were tanking the Swain pretty well as well.
He did.
The tanks were
1v5.
Yeah, but we were there for like 20 seconds.
That's true, but you know, it's not ideal.
Oh, I know, but just a look at the positives.
Yeesh. Okay, Dragon Soul, here it is. Osspice needs to find a way into the pit here to contest, but it's gonna be tough for him. You have Blitzkrieg on the other side of this fight. He's in a good spot, but I think they might just have to give this one. You hate to give the Dragon Soul, but there it is. And now is when the collapse will happen. All 5 members descending upon the Firebirds. They will find all 3. There is too much CC from this composition, and that looks like the game as of right now. But
for sure,
now we have this little break in action because now we're just going to see Kettering run down the lane, take some bot turrets. Let's break down some of the chats here. How long do these rounds last? It can last but anywhere between 20 and 45 minutes usually, depending on how each team is doing.
Or an hour and 5.
Or an hour. We have had one of those too, but typically that's how long. And as we're seeing here, the first person to destroy the Nexus. So that little that glowing blue thing behind the 2 turrets, if you kill that, then you win the game. That was why I break that down for us. Swain healed a lot because everybody was in his ult and nobody could kill him. It was really that simple.
Him being, what is he, evil general?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
goodness. Raymond the Goat is already out of this fight. Flashing forward does get the stun here onto Savage Beast, but that's not really who you have to worry about. This Olaf and this Swain are too big. The Rylai's slow is massive. Now you get the Shurelya speed boost too. They are running them all down. So much healing here from the side of Kettering. Nobody died from that even. Darkfire Shadow zoning them from their own fountain. This is looking like the end of the game. And what a dominant start for Kettering. Very well played. GG. My goodness. Wow.
51.6k against 34.2. That
yeah, that's
wow.
When you go into a game, you're not usually looking for that result. But it happens.
It happens.
These games are a best of 3. So hey, you can afford that. It'll be okay.
Most definitely. What would the Firebirds need to do to switch it up and be like, okay, what do we need to change? You know,
I think a big one is probably don't give the Olaf 3 kills in 5 minutes. That's pretty important.
Yeah.
I'd say. I think that the Udyr was given a little bit too much of free reign in that early game. I feel like you could have done more with Sejuani to find pressure in these other lanes. Wasn't really able to find a lot of successful ganks. But honestly, once you had those kills go to the Olaf, there's just so much pressure in the top lane that Sejuani Ospreys had to move into the top lane to answer to it. And from that point on, I mean, Akali couldn't roam, couldn't get the bot lane ahead. They got that one dive off, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
But just really good macro play there from Kettering to collapse on that and pick up those kills because they were just too far ahead at that point.
Most definitely, and it wasn't that even the Firebirds were trying to go for the back line in those team fights, and I think that was a really good thing. Like we saw even at the last one, diving onto the Jhin and diving onto it was the Karma as well. Yeah. But just the tankiness of the rest of Kettering was just too much, and just easily being able to push them around. And Swain just being right next door to everyone in the back line, just like, I'm gonna press R and
I'm just
gonna stand there. I'm not gonna die. So it was.
I mean, we saw it. I've never seen that 5v1.
That was awesome. That was so cool. And I definitely will give the MVP to the Swain. And Olaf, close second.
I think you have to give MVP to Olaf. I mean,
that was awesome. But I think the most wicked play of the game I have ever seen.
Yes, I would absolutely agree with that. But what will Carthage do to adjust? We talk about this every time. Whenever you see a dominant victory like that, it's tough. Like, you have to just have a mental reset, go into the next game, blank slate. So what will they change about the draft? What will they change about their game plan? I'm very excited to see going into the second game here. And we will. After a short little break, we'll catch right back with you for some more Carthage League of Legends.
See your future on the horizon? So do we.
It's really just the greatest college experience I could have asked for.
What really drew me in was having an adventure.
I think something really unique about Carthage is that it constantly pushes you outside of your comfort zone.
At Carthage College, we will push you to dive deep, to channel your curiosity, and excel in your chosen field.
It's been like an individual journey through collaborative effort. And so overall, this has been my college experience, but so many people that I've met have been supportive along the way, and they're all looking out for you. So that's really why it feels like a family.
As you ignite your true potential and start asking the hard questions, you'll find the answers are just the beginning. That's the moment your purpose comes into view.
We are really able to get great one-on-one action with our professors. So you can't hide in your classroom. You're always actively participating.
You'll get recommended for things that you might not have ever been interested in before, and you end up realizing that that might be your passion.
Everyone here is just so nice, so welcoming. It's really easy to make friends here at Carthage. The biggest change was going from student to young business professional.
I love Carthage.
It's definitely the people.
Living on the lake is amazing.
I feel very prepared for my future.
Ended up surpassing my expectations.
Some things you just need to see for yourself. Come take a closer look at Carthage College.
Welcome back, everybody. Game 2 here, Firebirds versus Kettering. How will this go down? Gonna see a lot of the similar bans I expect. Ezreal Syndra, 2 signature picks. Gonna see that Olaf ban now.
There we go.
Unsurprising. Ivern ban also. I like that ban. Ivern's very strong.
And Swain as
also
well.
Makes sense. After that, 1v5. Yeah, ban Swain. Gonna see the Udyr first pick. Still solid, I'd say. Will they go with the Sejuani is my question.
Should we go with the Sejuani?
I don't think the Sejuani was the issue, but Hecarim is extremely strong right now, so I do like that pick slightly more. Question is, what direction will we go with this draft? Who will we pick next? We've been picking bot lane a lot this season in the 2-3. Will we continue with that? Could see top blind pick as well. Gonna see the Gwen. There we are.
I like that. Good theme song.
Oh, I love her theme.
It's a great theme song.
Yeah, best one, I think.
I love it that Viego's theme is just reversed with Gwen's. Yeah. It's awesome. It's so cool. And then you can merge it together. It's so awesome.
Okay, Karma going to be the second pick. Honestly, I would not be surprised if Kettering just tried to run it back with most of their champions. I think that's the best choice that they have, honestly. I don't see a reason not to after that dominant performance. But I do like the ways that Carthage have switched it up here. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't go for a top counter pick in the 2-3, instead just blind picking their bot lane. Now it is a very safe bot lane, this Karma Gym bot lane. But you're giving Carthage a chance to protect the top lane and the mid lane actually with bans now. So Jace ban gonna protect this Gwen. I expect another ban here going the top lane's way just because of how dominant Blitzkrieg has been on the Sylas pick. But something to think about. If you are planning on picking Sylas, then why ban the Swain? Because Sylas does very well into Swain just because of how he's able to take his ultimate and beats him in lane.
Yeah.
So
I think just trying not to repeat what happened, just like any notion of it.
Fair.
Just trying not to do that.
That's completely fair. It makes a lot of sense. Just get rid of anything that is even possible.
Yeah.
That could mess with it. So that's a completely viable strategy. Now Caitlyn pick. Caitlyn does well into Jhin and less well into Karma, but still just a very obnoxious champion to deal with. Makes a lot of sense whether they're going to ban it. Lucian Nami's on the table, which is something I would actually like to see out of Carthage here. It'd be a good pick, except Karma does do very well into this Lucian Nami combination. But Lucian Nami do also beat Jhin, so I'm excited to see what they go with here. They could go
Kaisa ban.
Kaisa ban, yeah.
Nice.
I like the Kaisa ban from Kettering. I think it's still a very strong champion, even though we didn't really get to see it in the last game. Still a very strong champion. Could wreak havoc. So solid ban. Just keep him off comfort as much as you can. Question is, I am assuming they'll give support counter pick. So I'll pick ADC here is what I would have to guess. Lucian Nami. There it is. Okay. As I talked about before, just going to be trying. So strong side bot lane. You need to get this Lucian ahead, because if this Lucian gets ahead, you can run the game over. Lucian Nami is extremely difficult to deal with. Even if the Karma matchup is a little bit difficult, I just think that the power of these two champions is so high. It's very dominant.
For sure, yeah. And a Mordekaiser.
This Mordekaiser is just going to be ulting Hecarim every team fight, if I had to guess. The only issue that I have with it is it doesn't really beat Gwen a ton in lane. And I feel like you could have picked a champion that would have done a little bit better into Gwen in lane. But Mordekaiser is just very good right now. Jack-Show, the healing is very strong on him. So we'll see where they try to go with this. And it looks like a Tryndamere in the mid lane, which giving Sylas an ultimate where he doesn't die seems like a good idea. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is that sarcasm?
Yeah. I have Carthage. I have Carthage winning draft right away. I just think that Sylas into Tryndamere should be fantastic. I mean, you just take his ult and then you kill him after his ult ends. I think that lane should be unplayable. With that being said, I am a little bit worried about this Udyr. Honestly, after seeing it last game, I don't think we have a ton of champions that deal with it really well. I think that he blows up Lucian and Nami. I think that Sylas isn't able to 1v1. I think Gwen is really the only champion that can reliably probably 1v1 the Udyr, because otherwise he just beats the crap out of everybody else. But Nami Wave is good into it too, so I'm kind of conflicted. But still, I like Carthage's draft more. I'm gonna say it again. You know what? I I'll jinx it one more time. Let's see it. Oh my goodness.
So lane by lane, what are we looking at so far?
Bot lane. I expect to be in Carthage's favor. Lucian Nami is one of the most dominant lane pairings in the game. So you should definitely expect to see Carthage to look towards the bot lane to get this duo ahead. Or if they don't need the extra attention just to let the Lucian Nami naturally get ahead, you could absolutely do it too. The mid lane matchup, assuming it's Tryndamere and not Gwen into Tryndamere, because as we said, Mordred Trynd could switch. That is true. I'm still not sure. I think that Silas getting a Mordekaiser ultimate is still kind of rough, but they do just ult. So how that interaction works is they ult each other, but they share a death realm. So if the Mordekaiser ults somebody and the Silas ults somebody close enough, then they actually share a death realm.
That would be so cool.
Yes, which is interesting. I would. Traditionally, you'd see a Tryndamere bet here. But I think the Tryndamere matchup with Gwen is slightly better. And by slightly, I mean much better.
So then is Mordekaiser going mid?
I don't think they will, but it might be smarter. So I'm excited to see what they do here.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Absolutely. As far as jungle, Hecarim's a much more consistent champion than Udyr is. I think the engage potential that he brings, and even his ganks are slightly better.
Yeah.
I mean, team fighting, he just scales worse than Udyr is the main thing. They play a very similar role in how they engage in team fight and even gank. They both farm very well too. So you're gonna see similar play style, but Hecarim's early game ganking is slightly better. And he hits his power spikes earlier as well. So look to see the Hecarim ganking. Look to see him hopefully going bot lane, get Lucian Nami ahead. In the top lane, assuming it's Mordekaiser, Gwen should win this matchup. Once she hits level 6, even with the Mordekaiser, sending her to Brazil. I still think she wins the death realm. She just has so much healing. It's very difficult to deal with. And she outscales Mordekaiser as well. So if we're looking lane by lane, in my opinion, now, once again, I said that Carthage had the draft advantage the last game, but they lost. But I think that Carthage is better for those reasons.
Yeah, I'd agree with you with that. I just want to see for Kettering, for team fights, I do see a very strong front line again.
That is true. That's a good,
we do have that Hecarim just to jump onto that back line a little bit easier than it was before, and also with the Silas just right there with them, and Nami pairs well. So I think it's going to be a little bit easier this time around. I'm still very worried, however, because we said the same thing last time, and they just had an amazing front line.
They had a really good early game. That's the main thing to look at. But now I think the main change here in the Carthage draft is that they have an actual early game, a point of early game pressure in that bot lane that they can try to play around and find an early advantage. Last game, they didn't really have a winning lane to play around.
Yeah.
Each lane was either even or losing.
Yeah, and just trying to play the catch up too.
Exactly. So now that you have this lane, you can definitively say, okay, Lucian Nami extremely strong in that early game. Let's play around it. Let's stack dragons. Let's put pressure through the bot lane. That might be able to change the dynamic in the way that the Firebirds have a specific place that they can find their footing and look for plays.
For sure. Yeah, well said.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to see how it's going to play out.
Mordekaiser top lane.
Getting into those the big team fights of what is the best way to engage, because I mean, Jhin and Karma, how they pushed last time, they were kind of on the side.
They were utility, so they were just finding roots, finding slows, and the Karma just shielding. I expect. Okay, so here's the thing: Carthage has traditionally better team fighting champions outside of Gwen. Gwen's better, is more of a side laner. You throw Gwen in top or bottom lane, let her take towers. That's Gwen's role typically. It is still very good in team fights, but better in this side lane role.
Yeah.
Other than that, Carthage has a better team fight. With that being said, Kettering's front line is very, very good.
Yeah.
And the issue with a dive comp is that you need to dive onto something. The carries of Kettering are their front line.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to CC the Tryndamere and the Udyr in particular. Those are going to be your damage threats this game. So building armor and finding ways to stall out this Tryndamere ultimate, take care of this Udyr before he does too much damage are going to be the main points in order to win these team fights. It's not going to be traditionally like, oh, we need to get to the ADC and kill their damage dealer because it's Jhin. He's just going to be sitting back, rooting, ultimate.
Yeah.
If he's playing well, let's not say that. If he's positioning well enough, he shouldn't really be in too much danger.
And I think that's the big key is just the positioning, because like we said, there's 2 big team fights where they're kind of in a whole line going this way, is that it's all spread and they all can join together and do the whole circling around and pushing in together. But Jhin was always safe. Jhin and Karma were always safe until the very last moment when they were going for the inhibitor.
Yes.
Then I think it was Akali dived onto them and got him to half, but then Tanks just turned around and was like, no, don't do that.
Exactly, because their front line was what the damage dealers were, and nobody could kill the Swain because he was just so far ahead of the Akali of the other champions that didn't have burst to really kill them. So look for the bot lane. Bot lane is where action should happen. Obviously, mid lane's going to be cool too because you have Tryndamere versus Sylas. At least that's what they've locked in. They could still switch. Either that or they know something that I don't. The Tryndamere player knows something that I don't, and this is actually winning a matchup for him. But look mid to bot. Look for the Lucian to try to get ahead. On the other side, Kettering's going to look for top side, actually, mid to top. Try to get this Tryndamere, try to get this Mordekaiser ahead while the Jhin and Karma play this safe lane. So, interesting little duality. We'll see what strategy works out after this short spectator delay break. We'll be right back with you for Game 2.
The high Wheaton shoves that right over to the Lions half. Looks like this one's going in. Oh, you're kidding me. Don't over behind. We're going to see the barrage. The barrage.
Oh my gosh, Nico is just dominating right now.
What a play.
That's disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
That was disgusting.
Welcome back, everybody. Game 2 coming through, coming at you. Excited.
So exciting. Always a little bit nervous. A little bit anxious.
But we do have draft in front of us still, so while we're looking at it, let's talk about the draft. Let's talk about this Udyr, because this Udyr is going to be a big part of what's going on. You're gonna need to find a way to look at the Udyr, make sure he doesn't get any of these early kills to get fed, because if you're able to keep him behind, that's big. Because this is a squishy Udyr. You're gonna be seeing him build prowlers most likely, just like last game. And I mean, one shot the backline, which is would be a big issue here for the Firebirds, especially when one of your big damage threats is this Lucian, which you need to get ahead in this game.
Most definitely, yeah. So, but it looks like game's a little glitchy and almost kind of looks like it's being played on what's that one on computer?
60 frames. Oh my goodness.
What is that computer? The Windows 98.
Ah, okay.
That's it. My first computer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was old.
You're old.
It was it wouldn't run TF2.
No, really?
Yeah.
League of Legends.
No, I didn't get into League then.
Okay, that's fine.
I wish.
That is okay. Okay, so big information. It looks like Kettering knows that Hecarim is starting the top side, so you can be aware of this gank potential, this gank opportunity on the bot lane. So you should play safe. It looks like Black Iris is pathing in the same way, so also expecting a gank coming that way. So I think that's really smart, making sure that they have the support here for this bot lane to not just get ran over early in the game. Although I did say that mid lane was a winning matchup, that's only at level 6 because Tryndamere has just a lot more damage, and not only that, he's taken Ghost and Ignite, 2 very aggressive early game summoner spells. So you can look to see this Tryndamere trying to put a little bit of pressure on Blitzkrieg in the early game.
Yeah, that's I mean, I'm just super.
Ooh, they do find a level 2 advantage here. Proliferate does find a slow, and oh my goodness.
Wow.
I mean, that's what you look for from this Lucian Nami lane. Absurd early game damage. And now Raymond the Goat does find a nice little trade for himself. Might get the Q off.
Whoa.
Oh, does get the Ignite also. So that's going to force a reset here out of Darkfire Shadow. Well played there by Raymond the Goat.
Wish that it was already level 6, and then you just gotta push R a little bit, and then.
Oh yes, yes, this is true. I thought you said somebody was already level 6.
Oh no, I was like, no, I wish that Raymond the Go was level 6.
No, that would be great.
Just a little needle, and then boom.
That would be very cool. Okay, Tryndamere Max Rage is gonna get a lot of healing back from that. So as you can see, this is why it's a tough matchup, just because you have so much healing, so much sustain, as well as you do a little bit more damage than the Tryndamere. So as long as you're playing around wave well, you should have pressure, and he does. He does have that push in the mid lane, so he's gonna be able to walk wherever he wants. Now we see a gank opportunity occurring in the bot lane. You see this Udyr walking up. Hecarim was spotted on vision though, so they do know that this play is happening. They do have numbers there in the bot lane as well. But looks like Auspice Hecarim just gonna be looking towards the mid lane now.
I gotta put my glasses on. Oh, wow.
They find it. Do us find the knockup too. This might actually be a kill this early in the game. That'll be massive. Flashing forward is the Silas.
Come on.
Looking for it.
There we go.
First blood goes to Hecarim, but it's going to be traded right back here. Black Iris finding Blitzkrieg. Still a goal advantage going over to the Firebirds there.
Yeah, that was a really nice gank and a very good rush by Hecarim. And was it you know, a better start than going 0-3 early on in the game.
It is. Having a champion be 3-0 at 5 minutes, that's usually not what we want. And now you see it's 4 minutes and only 2 kills. That's big.
Oh, but it looks like there's going to be...
Oh, another gank here on the top lane. Very good play here. I'm very impressed with how Auspice is playing the map right now. Finding so many different advantages. Now, should be able to give this to Raymond the Goat. Oh, no. Auspice is going to be the one to find this. Darkfire Shadow doing his best to walk away. Wait for that cooldown to come up. But he's doomed. Going
there we go.
Picking up his first kill already. Better start than last game.
Wow, 2 ganks and almost under a minute. Oh dear.
He's gonna find the stun, but he should. Oh, so much damage. He's gonna go down.
Wow.
Yeah, Tryndamere finding these kills is not good. I mean, a good place to gank. Once again, you need to put this Tryndamere behind so he doesn't outscale or get accelerated too much. And that's exactly what you're seeing is this this Tryndamere is getting real fed.
Yeah, most definitely. And Udyr is just doing the exact same amount of ganking as our Hecarim, so this is going to be a very interesting and a lot of bloodbath being shown in this game.
I think that's what you should expect when you have these champions that have advantages in lane. You should push those advantages, and that's what we're seeing from the junglers, just knowing what lanes they're able to gank and playing very well around them.
For sure. Oh. Got caught up a little bit in the Jhin trap. I almost never get to see that trap doing damage.
Yeah, it's not meant for damage, really. It's just meant to flow.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Once again, though, I've been really impressed with both junglers here, both finding kills and both finding assists, so kills for their team. So it very well played there thus far.
Most definitely. Yeah, this a lot better start. We do have a slight gold lead at about 400 gold, I'd say. A bunch of pings going over for drag.
Oh, they got to be really careful about this one. They do have 4, so pressure mid is big, but it looks like Tryndamere has hit level 6, and Blitzkrieg does not have level 6. They need to be super careful about taking this fight.
Oh, Blast
they're gonna have
out.
to give this one. Tryndamere having level 6 is really a game changer there. If it was level 5 versus level 5, if both mid laners did not have their ultimate, that would be a different story.
Yeah.
Or if Blitzkrieg had ultimate, that would be important too. But just the fact that this Tryndamere had his ult, I mean, if he's unkillable, he's likely to get a kill.
Yeah.
So, and that would certainly turn the tide of a fight. Just really smart play there, just knowing when to give up a dragon, when to get an objective.
For sure, but it's a great positive that we even got to the dragon. Like, I think that's the first time that we've done that. Oh dear.
Root does come down on a Pillar Flare, but doesn't. Oh my goodness! But it doesn't matter because he just able to walk away. A stun of his own actually from the bubble there as well. So, bot lane so far playing as well.
Yeah, most definitely.
You do kind of wish you had a little bit more of an advantage here from this Lucian Nami, though. I mean, you will see some ganks from the Hecarim, I'm sure, especially once he hits level 6. But you kind of expect a natural advantage here.
Yeah,
Lucian Nami, just because of how much damage you're able to output. You saw in that one level 2 trade where he was just able to run at them and essentially take away 3/4 of the Jhin Savage Beast's health.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just the...
Oh, there it is. Here's a good little trade.
There we go.
That's what you should be looking for.
Oh, hello.
He has to be careful. He may be level 6, but I'm not sure he can 1v1 and Udyr. Yeah, see? That is a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah.
That is a one-shot Udyr build. Halo Blades plus lethality. You're just looking to use those cube... I mean, it's percent health, actually, procs. So just an absurd amount of damage, but it does leave you very squishy. So have to be very careful about how you're playing this game out as your Udyr.
For sure, but what he lacks in kind of the tankiness, makes up for in speed.
Yeah, damage. I mean, too. You saw nobody can really 1v1 an Udyr like this, or one that is built.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant Hecarim. My bad.
Oh, no. Oh. I was certainly talking about the Udyr. Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, Udyr's speed to it. Well, which one is that? Is that his E?
Ooh. Good little trade there. Arthropod does have ult, so they could actually look for a dive angle here if they push in this next wave. Especially if Auspice goes mid to help push out this middle wave and then bring the mid laner down. That could be a good play for them.
Ooh.
Let's just gotta be careful. He's just overextended just far enough, I think. So the stun is definitely gonna go through, but he does have the Tryndamere ultimate, so he's not gonna die here for sure. Although, no, Tryndamere also has ult. I didn't think about that. He's gonna be flashing away, but he goes over the wall.
Wow.
Auspice, will maybe find it. It's gonna be tough to say. Both ghosts are popped, but Tryndamere's doing too much damage. There we go. Positive trade there for the Firebirds. Good awareness by Auspice.
For sure. Wow. I'm loving these ganks a lot more this game. They've been a lot more eventful.
Certainly has. Certainly seen Auspice out on the map more. That's exactly what you want to
Oh, yeah.
Going forward does find enough damage here. This should put them in range of a dive. So Auspice will be able to look for something here. Yeah, Auspice should certainly stay and try to help with this dive. But you do see Black Iris here just waiting for that. Very smart play there to make sure that they keep this bot lane safe. On the other hand, the Firebirds need to know that this gank opportunity is a potential. They do have a lot of vision, so that is a good thing, but still need to be careful.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, no.
Ooh, does miss. That's big. So they're just going to walk away, take that gold, and reset.
Yeah, I was a little bit scared that, oh, wow, that's a good W.
Yep. As we talked before, Gwen will naturally win this lane. So it's going to be really tough for this Mordekaiser to find any sort of footing here going into the mid to late game.
Yeah, really good for us. So what's the big thing right now? So what can we expect once we start getting these items? How are these team fights looking so far with the kills that we see on the board?
Just so much on that mid lane. Blitzkrieg trying to get away, but he's going to go down. Does find that extra healing, but yeah, another kill going for Tryndamere. What were you saying?
I'll say that for a minute, but it seems like they just shifted priorities from bowling the top lane to bowling the mid lane.
Yep.
This this is really smart.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's something we talked about. This is your carry.
Ooh.
Okay, almost certainly a kill going to be found here on this top lane. Now you see a really fantastic counter gank coming through from Osspice, but will you have enough damage is the question. You do get the Nami wave, but too much damage from Black Iris. That Q is a powerful ability. Let me tell you.
Most definitely.
He does have the ultimate, so he could go forward here, but he knows that Blitzkrieg is up, so just smart play to back off there. Importantly, middle tower was taken, so it will allow for a lot more space. Kettering is going to be able to put down their vision around that middle lane now and try to get a foothold in the macro game.
For sure, and with those kills, they're pretty much set up to take this next drag, and that will give them to an even larger gold lead.
All right,
and so there it is, almost a 2K.
2K gold league. Yep. Still respectable. 11 minutes in the game, 2,000 gold can be a lot. So something I really would like to see going forward is trying to have some attention on the spot lane. Get this Hecarim in the bot lane, get this Lucian ahead, and try and really snowball your advantage.
For sure, yeah. Oh,
Osspice finds the Tryndamere. Trying to get the Raptors, but you have to be careful because you got to keep in mind this Tryndamere has ult. He could just try and ult and go for Osspice here. He has the damage. Now ulting away. Osspice is still taken down by the Ignite, and that will not be taken up by Blitzkrieg. Smart play there, but really unfortunate.
For sure.
Blitzkrieg
Hopefully.
still chasing.
Yeah.
He's going to get away, though.
That's just a bummer to see.
Certainly
but what
is.
A great play.
Certainly is. Really smart there. Tryndamere just knowing his damage, knowing what he's able to output, and he is fed. So now we see Udyr. Prowler's Claw forward will get the damage down. Will he have enough? He's pulled back. Darkfire Shadow taking him out. This Udyr has been everywhere.
Yeah, that
We'll look for that
good
there.
wave.
The exhaust will come down, but I don't know if that or he's got so much damage. We're gonna look for another one here. The 4-shot is available, but they could probably turn this if they're not careful. Bouncing now forward. Does the 4-shot? He should have kept walking traded, because now, as we see, we don't go down. Arthropod needs to dodge and jive out of the way. Does end up getting away. Well played there by the Carthage bot lane.
I like that. Good mobility.
Yeah, just well played there by the Firebirds. Kind of Blitzkrieg taking that ultimate was a little bit questionable, but you do have Osspice here, so maybe they're just expecting that they can take this kill. Does end up using that, but now he's gonna pop the ultimate, get that slowed down. Black Iris is in trouble. Just gonna walk away though. You see Tryndamere is here, and he does not have ult. Gotta be careful dashing forward. We'll be able to take this one out.
Oh, come on.
Okay,
there we go.
Taking him out. Big kill there. Another kill for the Gwen could be just the kill that they need, because if they're able to find a footing in this side lane, able to take some of these towers, that could be exactly what they need.
Oh, there's
find the TP, but he has the ultimate. Does not get the CC onto the Tryndamere. Taking him out though. The shutdown onto the Lucian is massive.
Very well done. Did the Tryndamere just bail out just to try not to die last minute, or?
Yeah, his ultimate was about to run out. So he probably should have just ran at Silas at Blitzkrieg, but he wasn't able to. Now found herself in a little bit of weird position, and Osspice is going to take advantage. Just unfortunate to be caught. I'm assuming trying to get some vision there, but yeah, just tough place to be.
Yeah, so far we're seeing a great flow, a lot better flow from the Firebirds in this game rather than the last game. It just seems a lot more relaxed and synergized.
Absolutely. I mean, whenever you are able to mitigate the amount of early game pressure that this Tryndamere and this Udyr are able to provide, that's massive. And you get 5. I like this play. Making sure that they have no chance of getting this Rift Herald and putting this Lucian farther ahead is exactly what you need.
For sure.
One thing you don't usually see, just interesting little tidbit typically on this build for Lucian, the first strike build, you'll see instead of Berserker's Greaves, so the attack speed boots, you'll see cooldown boots, so lucidity boots.
Oh.
Because you really want to maximize your dash and your Q to give that extra damage, and then you'll usually see rapid fire cannon second. So you're actually kind of a poke champion at that point because you'll just dash forward, get your 2 autos from the extended range of rapid fire cannon, and then kind of back away.
Yeah, that's interesting. Doesn't Lucian, does he do pressy attack?
Yes, he can run pressy attack. It allows for a little bit better early game, but recently First Strike has been his most popular keystone.
Nice.
Just because of this new build that's been played.
And how long does the First Strike, how long is that active?
What do you mean? It's as long as you have not been in, like, if you are the first hit in combat, like if you have not been attacked before. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, wow. That.
Yeah.
Jeez, that was quick.
Yeah. Not much more to say there. But Squeak's gotta be careful. We will. Wow. Yeah, so that's Udyr damage. So once you get, he's got Swifties too, so he's real fast and he's real dangerous with that Prowler's Claw. You saw how much distance he actually gained on Arthropod. Was able to take out that kill. So just really well played there by Black Iris. Has been well played throughout this entire game. Really done a great job setting up his team so far.
Yeah, most definitely. This is probably one of the best Udyr plays I've seen. Like so far, no.
They gotta be careful. Then, oh my god, all the AoE damage was ridiculous for Black Iris, able to insta-kill Allspice, but now you need the squishiness on the other side of this. He does flash forward, able to pick up that kill. Proliferate is gonna go down, almost start. Yep, Dark Shadow is able to take him out, and now Arthropod's in a little bit of a tizzy, some would say. Ultimate can be popped. Yeah, no, getting away from that. Another kill going over to this Tryndamere, but finding some success on the backside of this fight. Randigo just staying alive in the Shadow Realm, trying his best, is going to be taken out. But now Blitzkrieg going to try a 1v2. The ultimate is down here for the Tryndamere. He might actually be able to find it. He doesn't have the Undying Rage, but pulled away from the Tryndamere. This will delay the kill. He's got just barely enough healing, but now taken out by Darkfire Shadow. Unfortunate team fight there for the Firebirds.
However, most of those kills did go to Blitzkrieg, so that's going to bring him back up. So I say that's a good pro.
Yeah. Getting Blitzkrieg back into this game will be a really important factor. With that Tryndamere ultimate, you saw how much damage he could do. You just have to be really careful, and you got to make sure that
wow. Oh, no.
Ghosting away, is actually able to get out, so good on him. But now you see Raven the Goat on top of this Jhin. Gotta be careful though, he's in the middle of the whole enemy team. He's got enough healing to survive for a little bit. He's got to wait for his team to come here though. Might be able to frame it. No, gets bonked by the Mordekaiser. Instead of opting for the Jackshaw's build, opts for the damage build, and we are seeing that damage now. The root coming down from the Jhin, gonna secure a double kill for Darkfire Shadow. Blitzkrieg trying his best, but ooh, Savage Beast Gale Force forward, taking the auto and taking out Blitzkrieg. They are now firmly in the driver's seat. They have found their advantages.
Most definitely. That is almost a little bit above a 6k gold lead. And the third dragon will go over to Kettering.
Yeah, they've just played so well around this bot side, and picking this Jhin Karma, although it is less damage than a lot of other champions, it's just a very safe bot lane. So even though they threw this very, very dominant Lucian Nami bot lane against it, they weren't really able to find a super big advantage. So that is the power of the pick, and they've shown how well they're able to play around it. Allspice gonna have to ult away. This damage is absurd from this 2 item Tryndamere.
And I love the Pengu dab at the end. That it just seals the deal.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, Tryndamere with this new Ravenous Hydra is looking to be a menace. You see 2 champions building in this game that would not usually build Ravenous. Or I guess, let me take that back. Tryndamere builds Ravenous, but Hecarim certainly does not usually. So just showing the strength of that item.
Most definitely. Yeah, this has been a very exciting match so far. It's still winnable, but the gap is closing pretty quickly.
It certainly is. This Tryndamere is extremely hard. They need to find a way to shut him down. This Udyr with this lethality build will actually get outscaled, dashing forward, does not find the kill, and we'll get one shot now. Wow.
Oh dear.
No, Udyr.
I think I thought of that fun a little bit ago, and I was just like, wait, ooh,
not oh dear.
That's a good one.
God, yeah, and now you see Tryndamere is a menace in the side lane. Raymond the Goat will not be able to pick up a kill on him. He's just getting all in.
Oh, wow. Look at that damage.
Oh, my. And he's going to get out because of the Undying Rage. Wow.
Wow, and just like what we said before, that amazing front line, we see Mordekaiser 6-1, Udyr going 5-3-7, and Tryndamere 6-4-4. I mean, the Jhin and Karma are just there to help out.
Yeah, just the utility, like we talked about before. They don't really need to do the damage when this Tryndamere and this Udyr are so far ahead. Even the Mordekaiser is a big damage threat here. So you have to be, and the crappy thing about Mordekaiser, you can't just run at him because he'll ult you and kill you. He'll trade 1-for-1, and that's exactly what he wants.
I'm kind of surprised that no Firebird has gone
dodging around. Might actually be able to survive this one. No, and now you have to be careful because he has all the resistances as well. He's got a fully stacked Rift Maker. They have to be so careful here. Does not take out Blitzkrieg. That will be the death of him there. Shutdown. Big shutdown 2 to go to the Sylas. You need to look to Blitzkrieg to carry this game. Unfortunately, the Lucian just didn't get enough damage or enough gold to really siphon to him to carry. So now you're looking towards the mid lane. That's going to be it. Oh my goodness. Prowler's Claw Udyr, folks.
I've never seen it before, and that is like insane.
That's exactly what it does. And so, oh my gosh, such a good Baron play. I mean, so much pressure here. Just walking away from it. You got the Karma ultimate from Blitzkrieg, so able to put down some shields, I suppose, if need be. But just something I've been really impressed with so far from Kettering is how they've been playing these Barons. Just their macro with Baron has been so impressive this game. Ulting in will find the Jhin, but they're kind of on the backside of this fight. They have too many people pushing forward. I am not trying. Certainly is now running forward. Gonna be picking up a kill there, and now the curtain has opened. They're looking for more. Gwen is immune, so able to get away for the time being, but they could actually look to end here.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh, does find the kill. That might actually delay the end a little bit just because they might have enough damage, but they're just gonna be hitting Nexus here. This could be the end of it. Nami does the wide. That would be GG.
Wow. A little bit better this time around. Was it a complete
No, it was the exact same amount of time.
No, but I mean at the start.
Yeah, no.
A little bit better, but towards the end, I mean, look at that. Those frontline tanks, that's just extremely impressive. And what great opponents. Think looks like Kettering will be moving on to the finals.
They certainly will. Good luck to them, certainly. I mean, I just said certainly twice. I'm not on my game today, but that's okay.
No, that's
big X Factor pick has surprisingly been the Udyr. I talked about it as being a pick that I wouldn't usually go for in pro play, just a little inconsistent. But man, that Prowler's Claw build was incredible. Not much else to say about it.
Most definitely. That was a really scary was it Freljordian?
Yes.
Freljordian.
Scary Freljordian. They had 2 actually.
I like the Freljordian.
Yeah, respectable.
It's awesome.
But as we were talking about before, Udyr. I mean, even though Hecarim was matching him well in that early game, as we talked about before, that scaling is what separates Udyr from the Hecarim. And right as he got those extra few kills, accelerated him towards that Prowler's Claw. I mean, once you saw the Prowler's Claw, it was over for every squishy in his path. You saw Arthur get one shot a number of times, not even needing to be stunned. Just click Q, Halo Blades procced, and it was over for him.
Yeah, and it was super quick. Well, that was amazing. I had one more thing. Oh yeah, it was talking about like the one thing I should have looked in more, and you touched on it a little bit, that we were super squishy, and I did not think it'd be too much of a problem. Just like if we can get a big amount of damage going out of, I was like, yeah, this should be fine. But like you said, that Prowler's Claw, just that was really well done. Mordekaiser was one-shotting. Tryndamere was one-shotting. That was just great. It was great execution, great synergy, and just a great team. It was a great 2 games, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was certainly a lot of fun. 2 things I'd like to touch on right before we head out here. 2 things to improve on. It just felt like Carthage could have played the reasons that I felt like they lost this set. Felt like they didn't play to their advantages well enough. We talked about trying to get this Lucian ahead. It just wasn't able to happen. The Karma and the Jhin played fantastically.
Oh, most definitely.
I mean, just safe enough. They played that edge. They stayed even in CS, and they did their job. And the Hecarim wasn't able to find any ganks in the bot lane. Whereas you see on the other side, Udyr looking mid several times and finding several kills, pushing him ahead to where, sure, if Silas has the Tryndamere ultimate, you're probably going to win that matchup just because he has slightly more healing. But if you're so far behind, because you've just been, essentially your lane has been camped all game, all of a sudden that completely changes the matchup dynamic, and you have two side lane threats, Mordekaiser and the Tryndamere, who you can't really match. And that for one makes it tough. Secondly, they just were not able to team fight. Carthage really didn't get a chance to show the team fighting that they've really been known for.
Which was such a bummer too, because they had such a great setup into it. But and that was just so unfortunate. Even later on, like everyone was just going in one by one, trying to play off of something, and it just wasn't working. The entire team was there, and it was the tankiest of all of them. It was just a bummer to see.
It was. So, I mean, Kettering played 2 pick comps, and they played them well. They found kills before objectives on the exact people they needed to. They pushed that advantage and won. So, certainly looking forward. It's the good thing for us is it's a very entertaining style of play. Like, you see a lot of kills, so I'm very excited. You know what? I'll be rooting for Kettering in the finals.
Most definitely.
Yeah, if we see that lethality Udyr again, let's see it. Let's see some more one-shots. Exactly. So make sure to tune into that. I'm sure it's next week, Wednesday, most likely. Finals can probably play on the NECC stream. So look forward to that. But in the meantime, we will see you next time. As chat suggests, Friday, 3 Rocket League games, semifinals, big time. Be there. Be there, support.
Be there or be square.
Be there or be square. So in the meantime, we will see you next time. GG's. And have a good one, everybody.